Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Arbitrary Productions podcast. I just want to say, first of all, thank you for everyone who came on to the podcast last month, February, and talk about, all the different things that they love that relates back to Charlotte, such as Sam in sports, Uyen in mental health, Kevin in technology, and of course Danny and Rashid to talk about the best boba in Charlotte. But just want to say thank you again, and I'm excited today to talk about something that's near and dear again to my heart. Every episode is near and dear to my heart because every topic is cool in my opinion, especially when I can find a way to relate it back to Charlotte. Right now I kind of have this is a coronavirus episode. It's not about the coronavirus, but the episode is recorded during the quarantine era of 2020. So, yeah, we might be able to find ways to kind of talk about other things that happen, during my college years, which is going to be the topic for this episode. And to talk about my college years, I have some friends here, some of my best friends from college. Very special. Uyen is back. And my other friend, Vickie Lee. So if you guys want to, say hi to the audience or...
Hello, I'm back as if I forgot something. You were mental health expert.
She's been here before, but she's shy again.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vickie, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm
actually kind of nervous.
Why?
Usually I'm not that nervous, but I don't know.
Just like talk to us. Like, don't even worry about the internet or maybe my mom's listening, and she probably is.
I have no filter, so that's good.
But she listens.
Yeah, my mom.
I am so sorry for thinking you were a nurse. I truly apologize.
No, it's okay.
If you are listening to this.
No, it's okay.
Miss Brown, I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so we're gonna talk about, first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is this coronavirus thing. What are you guys' thought on the situation globally, nationally?
I feel like it's a bit media makes it seems like it's worse than it actually is, because there's also studies of other illnesses that surpass coronavirus. I think it's just this time there's so much media attention to it, and then it just scares everyone else and just kind of blows it up bigger. So I think media has a big part on this whole situation, and everybody's getting the toilet paper, it would be for me, it would be the last thing I would worry about. I need some
water.
Exactly. But no, people are buying out the toilet paper. But I think one of the big thing, and then with the whole situation with you see racism and people,
as a Chinese person,
I know, as Chinese person, I see all these videos of maybe elderly people in New York getting punched in the face for no reason, just strangers just punched him in the face, and that just breaks my heart because I think about my older grandparents and everything, and it's what if it's them, it's such as that, and then it's just being Asian in this time, you're kind of more aware of things, because I travel for work too, so do I wear a mask for my own safety, or do I am scared that I'm gonna get socked in the face?
I know Asians have been asking for exposure, but this is not exactly what we wanted. So it's the best and worst time to be an Asian, because the coronavirus, a lot of it being blamed to, of course, it came out of China, which makes sense, but that doesn't mean you have to go out of your way to make people feel bad for it, because it's not like the person you see down the street is going to be the same person who caused all this, right? So regardless of who you talk to, just be nice.
Yeah, absolutely, because how they're treating the virus is it's through fear.
Yeah.
And people act upon fear.
Yeah.
And it's just it's unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what it is? It's it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
That's true, too. I agree.
And media people aren't going out of their way to cause panic. They still... If there's no events to cover...
I think the media does go out of the way to cause panic.
If there's no events to cover, then what's their job?
But how they cover it specifically is very different.
Yeah, of course.
Because literally they will come, I have seen, and I can't remember who exactly, but this activist called it out, where it was an activist, it was a newscaster where they're reporting cases of like the coronavirus within like Italy or within like the US when it's non-Asian individuals, but they still, and like if you click on the article, they will still show a picture of like Chinatown for no obvious reason, because that's the correlation to people, and then that's the message they're sending out to the public, and they're going to keep correlating that to Asian Americans. And also with the whole, like, we talked about this earlier today, where minorities against minorities, where, you know, individuals are, we're both marginalized and oppressed individuals just continue oppressing each other and attacking ourselves. And it's just, I don't know.
Sometimes, you know, I personally, when I'm at work, I'm the only Asian guy on my side of the floor. And so, to me, personally, I'm not gonna, like, point fingers at anybody. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm just creating scenarios in my head, too. And that's all I want to say to, like, if we have any Asian listeners to this, it's like, you know, yeah, there's pointing fingers, but don't make it feel like it's your fault either. Because me, personally, like I said, when I'm the only Asian guy at work, sometimes I feel like I'm scared to sneeze or to cough a little in front of anybody just because I don't want people giving me stares. I get a little self-conscious about it, but then I gotta remember, you know, it doesn't just affect Asian people, and that just because I cough or sneeze doesn't mean I have it. Like it's very true. You know, you don't want to create scenarios in your own head either. So I just want people to be, I guess, aware of that as well. So
and then one thing I like saw on like social media, like illness doesn't see a color, so anybody's susceptible, you know, for it. So just be cautious, wash your hands, you know, be nice to each other, don't be racist, you know, like just be like understanding with the whole situation, because it's like a crisis. Like, nobody, do you really think like anybody wanted this to happen? You know, and
listen to your law enforcers. Like, please, like, if you're in quarantine, don't leave. Please.
And also, if you think an Asian person can give you coronavirus, educate yourself.
Or, you know, talk to them first, and you can always just ask if they're safe, if they're okay. If you see them maybe coughing or sneezing, just, you know, it's okay to have a little fear. I get it, but it's also more respectful to just politely ask and be like, hey, are you okay? Do you need something? And if they have something, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you. They're not gonna go out there.
I don't think they'll be out and about to tell you.
And they're not gonna, you know, go up to you and be like, yeah, I have coronavirus. You want some?
Like, you wanna,
no. But then also, like, testing, they don't test for the coronavirus. Like,
as far as I know, they're slowly setting up stops in Charlotte, but the cases haven't been too crazy to where there's a real need for it. It's worse in Raleigh right now. Raleigh has like had a couple cases at this point.
No, I heard like it's been increasing by like 8-9 people each day.
The reason why it's increasing because they're actually testing for it now.
Exactly.
And I'm glad people are going.
I'm glad too. And then they have like kits at home too, I think. Stuff like that.
So anyways, that's enough about the coronavirus. Let's talk a little bit more positive, maybe some negatives in there. College. All right. When you first started college at UNC Charlotte, if you guys don't know, UNC Charlotte is probably the biggest college campus in Charlotte area.
I think it is.
Population of over almost 30,000 students.
I think maybe over.
I don't think it's hit yet.
Hasn't? Oh.
Yeah, I think it's getting close, and they're slowly planning for that with all these construction, new dorms, bigger classrooms, maximizing the 5 days a week, because it used to be. It's always been 5 days a week for classes, but it's usually like one class a day. So, you know, they're trying to maximize it because it's getting more and more crowded on campus. So when you first got to UNCC, as far as touring or first day of classes or move-in day, what were your first thoughts? Let's start with Vickie.
Yeah.
First week, I don't know. It was just, everything was so new to me. It was just really different. Like, you're moved out of your house, like you're away from your parents. I mean, I'm a pretty independent person myself, but it's just like the environment was really different. You're more independent, and it's just, It's cool. I like it a lot. It's just very different. I enjoyed it. My first year I stayed on campus. I think it's a good idea to stay on campus for the first year to get to know people and then like organization and events. Especially we're such a commuter school for UNC Charlotte, and I actually never toured the campus before.
Really?
Yeah. Usually, you would think people usually tour the campus before going, but I wasn't.
So what happened? Like, would you just showed up on move-in day and was like, "This is where
Pretty
I live
much.
now?
So SOAR was my first time being at UNCC.
Okay.
I never really thought about going to UNCC. I always thought about maybe NC State or like Chapel Hill and stuff, but
Where all the other Asian kids go to school,
or like the smarter kids, but like. Unfortunately, I was not that smart.
No, don't say that.
I got waitlisted and deferred, so I was just like, let's play it safe, UNC Charlotte, and you never know what happens. So I'm glad I chose it because I don't think I would have made it on the other school just with the workload and everything. And
the
also,
job market is different.
Exactly, because over there is more technology based and engineering. I feel like. Yeah,
RTP, the research is all science and tech.
Yeah. And I never thought about going into like science or anything. So I think I honestly like out of luck. Out of luck, I just chose UNCC and kind of stuck with it. After my first year, I thought about transferring, but I'm glad I didn't because that gave me a lot of opportunities that we can talk about later.
Yeah.
So that's my experience. But overall, my first year was awesome. Like first 2 year, I really got to know a lot of people. So that was really amazing. Like I got to meet friends and we just continued that friendship.
And we met through one mutual business friend. Nathan, right? Yeah. So that's how we met originally.
Yes, that's
and how. Uyen, what was your first impressions of UNC Charlotte?
So I transferred to UNC Charlotte. So freshman year I went to App State, and then. What? Why are you laughing?
Nothing. I'm just remembering.
Yeah, so freshman year I went to App State. I was in the mountains of Boone, and then I transferred to the city of Charlotte. I don't know. But yeah, I transferred to Charlotte my sophomore year, and I didn't live on campus. I lived on campus when I was at App, but when I went to Charlotte, I did out campus housing because it was cheaper because like it was just no meal plan and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I mean I didn't tour Charlotte as well, like coming in. The reason why I transferred to Charlotte was just because I have a lot of family in Charlotte and I have cousins who went to Charlotte during my undergrad time, and so my family was just like, well, we have so much family here, if you ever need anything, like they got you, versus in Boone, like you have no one up there but like a tree. And I was like, you're kind of right. And so that's why I transferred to Charlotte, and honestly, like I don't regret it. I love it here. It's why, if y'all don't know, your girl's back. I graduated last semester, but your girl's back for her master's in Charlotte. So, I just love Charlotte so much that after graduating, I went back.
You came back.
I came back for my master's.
And let me ask you, which homeless mascot do you prefer, App State or UNCC's?
What is that?
App State's a mountaineer.
They're both bearded men.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They look like cousins.
Yeah, for reals. They're both ugly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not. But Norm's cuter.
Norm is the UNCC mascot.
In case you said Norm's cuter. I can't.
The Mountaineer, I don't know his name, but like he's more of a.
Isn't like
more of a man?
He's a mountaineer.
Yeah, so he has a more bigger beard.
They're called the App State Mountaineers, right?
Okay. And so Norm has like a shaved
They look like
beard.
Cousins, except one looks more like a lumberjack.
Because he's a lumberjack.
A miner, yeah. So yeah, first impressions overall good.
Yeah.
So when you came to Charlotte, did you have a hard time adjusting as far as making friends, going to class? Because, it's a completely new, different city for both of you. Mm-hmm. And when you came in, it's obviously transition from high school to college is also a big deal. So how was that transition your first year at Charlotte? Who wants to start?
For my transition, it was actually pretty good. I kind of started out like fresh. Like most of my friends went to NC State and Chapel Hill, And then, I mean, there was a couple of friends that were at UNCC, so I can, like, always hit up and lean for, like, you know, just, it's nice to know someone at your campus. But overall, it was, like, a new start for me. So it was really nice, honestly. Like, nobody knows who I am, you know, just starting out fresh, you know, it's like...
And now everybody knows who you are.
But, yeah, it was nice. But the first semester, honestly, I thought it was kind of hard making friends. Yeah. It was, like, kind of like... I'm a pretty outgoing person, but it was just, like, getting out of your comfort zone. And, like, I did go to a lot of club events and stuff and organizations. So that helped a lot. And I met a lot of people through ASA for UNC Charlotte. So that was really nice. And I met a lot of great people there, too. But the first semester was a little rocky. But then after that, I met so many people. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. So your first year, felt pretty good.
Yeah, okay. It was pretty good. And then, like, of course, I met people where I housed too in dorms and everything, so that was really cool too.
What about you, Uyen?
Yeah.
You had a hard time.
I kind of did.
You came from App.
Yeah.
But you're also still not really from Charlotte.
Yeah, so because I lived off campus my freshman year too.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, my roommates were cool, but they weren't that cool. Oh, no, they were pretty cool. No, they were cool.
Shout out to those uncool roommates.
I'm so sorry. But, no, they were cool, but, like, you know.
We do shout outs to bad things.
But they were, they had their own life, essentially. So, obviously, like, you know, they hang out with their own friends and stuff like that. And then being off and then also I had, like, the blues too, because I did miss my friends that I made during my freshman year when I was at App State, and I was like, did I did the right decision, yada yada yada, because my decision was really based upon my parents' wishes. So I was like, dang, you know. But then of course I did have family who went to Charlotte, and so was my cousin who, like, took me to ASA, just like how Vickie said, and that's where I met my roommate, Vickie.
Asian Student Association.
Yeah,
I still remember that day, honestly.
I remember, where was it? What classroom was it?
It was in co-ed.
Co-ed. And I remember I was walking with Treat, my cousin, and I saw Vickie because she was, like, an intern for ASA, and then Treat was like, what room is it? And then Vickie's like, there. And the first thing I noticed was her septum ring. And then,
sophomore year, because that's when you and other Vickie got it. That summer over. Because I came back, like, and I was like...
Yeah, no, one day, like, summer, I was like, let's get our septum pierced. And she was down for it. I was like, okay, let's go. I like to do impulsive things.
Because I came back, and I was like, this is new.
This is new. Who is this?
I mean, I kind of knew y'all at my sophomore year, but I didn't really get to know everybody until my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So when I came back and saw that, I was like, I already don't know them, and now I know them even less already.
Who are they?
But I was like, they're kind of cool, but this kind of scary.
Yeah, I got made fun of. Trust me, my parents was like, you're like a cow. I'm like,
oh no.
No, they do it out, like, jokes and stuff.
Out of love.
Out of love, honestly. But yeah, that's where I met you, and I still remember that time. She's so bubbly and everything.
Yeah, I remember. And then ASA, Asian Student Association, shout out to y'all. Follow us on Instagram.
I'm gonna tag them in this.
Yeah, ASA. I met Freddie at ASA because he.
Well, it was when you were with. Oh yeah, I did Hello Asia,
but
you were
we
also.
Got close.
You were also, we did an event with your old organization before they became Kappa Phi Lambda today.
Shout out to Kappa Phi Lambda.
When I was running Chinese Club my sophomore year, pretty much. You know, I did the Lunar New Year with y'all.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was fun.
That was when Uyen was like, hi! I was like, I don't know you.
Because, like, even... So, if you're a kid and you're going to college, like, me and Vickie are extroverts. I think, Freddie, you're extroverted, too.
I tried to really get myself out
you're
there.
Pretty good
my sophomore year. Because, freshman year,
even for us, it was pretty hard, like, finding a group in college. So, you know, the struggle is real, but, you know, it's...
You gotta put yourself out.
Yeah, you have to put yourself out there if you want to meet people. And, like, go to these clubs. If you're interested in something, look up, like, all the clubs that your school offers. And just try it out. And,
get out of your comfort zone, really. Like, that's where you really meet, like, the lasting, like, friends, you know?
I know.
I'm gonna tag UNCC's Instagram on this, by the way.
Oh, shout out to UNCC!
But, so, you mentioned, you know, attending a lot of clubs, and if our audiences can tell by now, we're very we were very Asian culture focused. Even before we started the college conversation, we're talking about coronavirus and all that stuff. We're very pro Asian Americans, Asian, encourage. What's the word for it? Like
advocating.
Yeah, we're just we're for the culture and. There are people, Filipino, Vietnamese, or Chinese. People can't see our face, so
that's just our interest.
Yeah.
We're interested in like badminton. There's a badminton class out there that you can go to.
Yeah,
and meet people through that.
We just happen to really enjoy learning about our culture and the different cultures within our ethnicity and our race. It's not that we don't like these other. Yeah. If anything, we collaborate. We used to collaborate with all those other cultures and fraternities, sororities on campus. So. That was a really cool experience to have at UNC Charlotte, was the diversity as far as the types of Asian backgrounds and, international backgrounds, right? So, Vickie, how would you describe the diversity of UNC Charlotte as far as Asian Americans go and, international, I guess, everybody else?
I think, it's kind of maybe separated too, because like Asian Americans, you see them hanging out with most Asian Americans, and more international students hang out with like international students. But I do of course see like both mixing and stuff like that. It's always nice to see that because you learn a lot from them. I took a Chinese class. I'm Chinese, and I took Chinese class, and it's like really nice, seeing like everybody's like interest in Chinese culture and everything.
And they're not all Asian kids
exactly
in that
it's
class.
awesome. And they're even better than me. That's the most like amazing part. Like they're better at me in it. And then but then like I guess growing up I wasn't too like too for it. I don't know, like I wasn't, I guess you can say proud of it, because like growing up I wasn't like,
you were trying to fit in with the typical American cookie cutter, speak English, eat fast food, that kind of
no, because like I brought lunch, like you bring lunch and stuff, and like
because in America
like,
fast food is like an everyday thing, like whereas internationally it's an event when you go out to eat. Doesn't matter if it's fast food or not.
But I feel like campus, we can be more collective as a whole, even more, because they have all these amazing organizations and stuff, and it promotes different culture and everything. But I think it can be there could be more, more awareness and more collaborations, because sometimes it does get a little cliquey, with things like that. But overall, I think diversity wise, college is great. You learn a lot of like culture and everything, because like even though I'm Asian and Chinese, like I wasn't too aware of like Hmong culture, with that
I wasn't even aware with that.
Same.
Nobody talked about it.
Nobody ever talked about it, but then when you're exposed to it, you become more culturally aware. And I think school does a good job with that. And of course you have to put yourself out there to get exposed to different cultures and stuff and be open-minded.
What about you, and what are your thoughts on diversity?
So as like a student body itself, so going from like App State to here, like Charlotte is much more diverse. Like it's honestly one of the most diverse campuses I've been to.
There's like 50 boba places near the school.
But even the student body, like, there's all type of like students and cultures and ethnicities and events that cater towards, their ethnicity and culture as well. Versus like other campuses I notice is a lot of its majority white, Caucasian, such like that. But I have noticed compared to like other universities, Charlotte is diverse.
I mean, even if your school, is majorly white or black, that doesn't mean there's not a community within that community for you to fit in and express yourself, And you can even do that within, say, you majorly have white friends. That doesn't mean you should shy away from sharing your culture with them. It's you never know. They're probably going to be very open-minded about what your background is like. Don't be shy to share what you love. Who you really are with your friends. Right? Doesn't matter, Asian, white, black, Hispanic. Just be proud.
Exactly.
How was your experience freshman year?
My freshman year, I actually didn't have like any Asian friends. I hung out with my hallway friends Most people didn't hang out with their roommate or their hallway friends. I hung out with my hallway friends. We were the only hallway in that entire building who like knew everybody in the hall. And we like had lunch together. We played video games together. We went to like a convention together. We like hung out all the time. You know, so that was really cool. I mean, you know, experience, even though I didn't really expand outside. It was Scott Hall.
Shout out to
South Village.
Shout out.
Follow us on Instagram.
I think they closed up. No, they redid the building.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't they read?
They're tearing down. They tore it down and they built it back up. But then they realized that it was too expensive to do that with the other buildings, like more in the other building. I forget what it was, but there was 3 of those old buildings. So they're just gonna tear down those other 2. And just make entirely nicer building instead of renovating.
Yeah, because like I don't think there's much to renovate.
Yeah, honestly. I think they said it costs more.
Yeah, exactly, because they look like prisons.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was nice.
It was a jail. I'm so sorry.
It's like this white building. It's
just inside the halls are so like the ceilings are so low.
The elevators didn't work anymore, and it didn't go to the top floor. If you lived on the top floor, you had to walk up. And then when I go to class and stuff, sometimes the elevator won't close, so we had to sacrifice someone out there and close our elevator for us, and then we got down. Yeah.
But yeah, I was in clubs my freshman year. I think I only did really one Chinese club.
And then you became president!
Yeah, pretty quickly, because the next year, I don't want to call this person out, they were supposed to step up, they didn't, and then I was nominated, take over. But yeah, that's kind of what led me into knowing the Asian community a little bit more on campus, was by being involved in the Chinese club, because the Asian community, as we talked about, it's a tight-knit community, right? You'd see people support each other. They go to ASA people come to Chinese club, DSA, they go to HSA. We got all these awesome Asian related culture clubs on campus. Vickie, what were some of the clubs that you were in?
I was in ASA. I was in Chinese club, but I wasn't part of the board.
Yeah.
But I was also in. We started this like kind of interest group for a sorority. Now it's Kappa Phi Lambda. That was Asian interest, but it's open. Open
not
for
Asian exclusive.
Exactly, girl. And
nothing is really Asian exclusive.
Exactly. Like, why would you
Charlotte.
exclude other people like from learning your culture too? And you can learn from them too.
Yeah.
So.
That's how you like stop ignorance and racism by sharing your story. That's
I was in a few other ones, but those were my most like Asian focused ones. So.
Did you have any other like non-Asian organizations?
I was in like a few business organizations too, and I did like some volunteering work and stuff. I always like to like diversify myself, and because you never know. You learn so much, but with that you kind of overwhelm yourself sometimes. You're doing so much. So, but it was awesome though. You kind of see what you can handle,
You sound like an overachiever right now, and Chapel and Cisse are probably regretting it, by turning it down. Maybe. You gotta hype you up here a little bit.
Maybe masters, Oh no, you win.
Yeah, you. And how about you? What organizations were you in?
So okay, I was in ASA, obviously. That's how I met Vickie, and that's how I met you. Well, kind of how I met you.
It's a collaboration thing.
And I was on board with ASA. With Vickie as well, and then
you did everything together.
She just couldn't get enough.
Stop. And now you live together.
Now we live together, yeah. But I was the non like Asian. Well, let's get out this way. Me and Vickie are in the same sorority. We're line sisters. Okay,
I have to tag
Kappa Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated. Shout out to them. Add us on Instagram or follow us. I don't know anymore. But So, and then like. With going to like just the orgs itself, like going to events, I did go to Chinese club events a lot. I never paid dues. I'm so sorry, I never did.
There was no dues. There was extra credit, and I always felt bad charging. It didn't make sense. I was like, why would people want to pay for extra?
And so I went to Chinese club a couple of times to support you. I remember.
Yeah.
And then I was pretty into FOSU, which is like Filipino student.
They were the new kids on campus.
So I went to
The
FOSU
club.
a lot.
They got big fast.
Yeah, and then who else? I guess to like diversify myself, like I was a part of like the BSW club, which is Bachelors of Social Work Club. Okay, just kicking it with them, and that's pretty much it. Those are the orgs that I went to the most.
So yeah, pretty diverse. Pretty much, Chinese club had people of every background there too, because people needed extra credit
too.
So like you mentioned, you had like white kids, black kids in your class. They'd come to Chinese clubs sometimes.
And they're even better than me. I'm just like, I'm a dishonor.
Dishonor on your cow. Mulan coming out soon. Disney sponsor us.
Follow us on
Postponed. You got time to promote the movie.
It is.
I'm kind of glad though.
I don't think any new movies are coming out until April.
Oh, and plus you can't be in a location like
more than 10 people.
Yeah, 10 people.
Yeah, I think movie theaters started capping at half the capacity, and once it hits that, the system will consider it full, and then you can't buy any more tickets, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I got distracted with that. I was involved in Chinese club, you mentioned it, Filipino American Student Union. Sometimes I stopped by ASA. It didn't always fit in my schedule because I was in the school orchestra, so you got Asians playing music. And then I was also in student media, so I was also very busy. As you can tell, we're all kind of overachieving Asians here. But no, that's how we represent. We just gotta put in hard work and then good results as well.
Do what you gotta do.
So as far as school goes, what were your? Because I know Vickie, we all graduated, but you and you're back in school.
But we all graduated.
Yeah, I know. But you're back in school for masters.
Yes,
you're pursuing further education, but like. Vickie, what would you say is, I guess, you're something you're not going to miss from UNCC, or that you don't miss at all from UNCC?
Homework, definitely, 100%. I mean, of course, from work, you would get like projects and you get OT and assignments that you have to stay a little longer to do, but like just not having to do homework is great because sometimes I see Uyen doing her homework and I'm just like, oh, good thing I don't have any, It's nice, but that's for sure one thing I won't miss, so.
What about you, Uyen? I mean, you're kind of back in school, but if you can change one thing about UNCC now, not even like school in general, but just like about
the experience,
the Charlotte
I guess, something
experience, or what is something that you wish you could change?
Honestly, my undergrad is just a repeat. I mean, my grad program is just a repeat. It's just my undergrad repeated. Yeah, essentially, because like I'm still after my sophomore year, I guess my second year of my second semester of my junior year, I started taking 18 credit hours per semester.
Sheesh.
And currently now I take like around 15 credit hours as like a master's student. And so it's still essentially the same. Like I have 5 classes and all that stuff. I have an internship with it, and I had an internship during like my undergrad and all that stuff, and that was a lot, and it's still a lot to this day. I think I mean, if I didn't have homework, that'd be great. If I didn't have like reading to do, that'd be great as well.
But that's hard though. I feel like for social work.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what my program is based upon. Like,
and you write a lot of
papers,
so you have to read. You can't just pull it. Well, I feel like Uyen could pull it out of the air. She's a pretty well-written person.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I think she is. She helps me on mine. I'm like, hey,
somebody's gonna have a nice drive back home.
We did drive together. We do everything together. No, but if I was, this is something that I do not miss or like do want.
Or you're not going to miss. Yeah.
It's not going to miss is the homework, is the reading. Honestly, I do enjoy the readings because the readings are very insightful. Because it's something I'm interested in. Because social work and social justice, social advocacy is something I'm interested in. Like I enjoy reading it, but the fact that they force me to do it, I don't like being told what to do. So that's why I don't like it. But that's just me though.
Yeah, I don't miss homework. See, if I'm gonna stay up all night doing something, it'd be something I want to do that I made myself do. Not
and homework. Most of the homework were like busy work, It wasn't like maybe not for math and stuff, because you kind of need to do some problems and stuff. But like, just general classes and stuff, it was just mostly busy work. Hey, there's like this portal website you just go on,
Yeah. And now I'd like to ask the opposite. What is something that you really like about UNC Charlotte?
It wouldn't be mostly UNC Charlotte based, but maybe undergrad. I really like the flexibility. Like, I'm not saying go skip class or whatever, but if you're not feeling well or you're just like kind of off that day, you have the ability to maybe like miss a class or so, or like be late. But for work, it's a really like a 8 to 5 job. Be there on time, leave maybe sometimes late. So I just miss the flexibility. I see my friends, like some that aren't graduated, they're still in school and they get to hang out with their friends on like lunch break or longer lunch breaks and stuff like that. So I think I get a little FOMO or something with that. It's just flexibility, I think, is like a key thing when looking for a job that I realize. So I think that's just one thing I miss about college, having the ability to sometimes do whatever, you know. As for a job, you're more on a kind of a timeline and everything like that.
Okay. What about you, Uyen? What do you like about UNC Charlotte?
What I like about UNC Charlotte?
Yes.
I think
Or
as an undergrad, or like as an undergrad, I agree with Vickie, the flexibility, and then also like the friendships that I made within UNC Charlotte. I think to refer back to a couple weeks ago, I think I sent you and Vickie the both videos, us studying in the library.
Oh, yeah.
And
so cute.
I think I told you too in the podcast that I went to, like, I miss coming to your office when like it's like between class. Like if I have like a 30-minute break between class, like I'll just stop by your office and say hi to you or like talk to anyone who was there. And so I miss that type of social aspect. And yes, even though like I am back in school, like it's different being like undergrad, from grad, because grad you're there because you're trying to advance yourself in your career. It's not like, you know, I feel like undergrad, what's encompasses undergrad is, especially for kids around our age, is that it's a time where you can find yourself, where you can grow, where you can like develop yourself as an individual. So I really feel like when I was in my undergrad, I really did develop myself as an individual, and I also developed a lot of friendships that I see myself, you know, upholding for like the rest of my life. But so that's why it's like a different culture within my undergrad and grad. Grad is more of like, let me go to class and go home because I'm 30 and I have my own, you know.
You're not even close.
Well, no, a lot of my classmates are older because they work, they have a family, they have a job, they're here so they can get that degree and get a higher paid job. So it's more like focus, I guess you can say. While undergrad is more, it's more abstract. It's more in the sense of, you know, I'm here to not only learn about my major, but learn about myself, you know? And so that's what I miss. I miss like exploring, and I miss meeting more people and
longboarding at night.
Oh my
on campus.
those are
good times.
Yeah. And we can't do that now.
We can still do it. You want to go?
But it's just hard. Everyone's schedule, you know, is just difficult. Like, I really do miss the social aspect. I think that's why some people are like afraid to graduate. You know, I think that's one of the biggest.
Is that a
things.
certain shout out to somebody, you know?
No, it's just like some people are just
you got where I was going.
No, some people are just afraid to graduate, which I mean, I felt a little bit.
Some people are afraid to grow up.
Yeah, grow up, I guess. Because like when I graduated, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm done. You know, no more school. Because like we've been trained to go to school since we were little. So like not having school, you're pretty much on your own schedule. You have to find your own job, you know, like, do I want this job and stuff like that? It's a little scary, I can say, like, you know, because all your life you've been told, like, go to school, you know, find a good job. It's always so structured, you know? And then, bam, you're done. Like, you graduate, you're on your own.
There's not a lot of flexibility, really.
Exactly, yeah.
They're kind of like, you gotta go this path. If you don't, you kind of have to improvise a little. Otherwise, you're screwed for the rest of life. That's what they tell you, but in reality, it's not that simple. They scare
you a lot. You're like, I don't
know. By they, we mean like, parents and grandparents and other relatives and, you know, other people who did the traditional thing.
I don't know.
Right?
I think I did a pretty traditional thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't regret it. It's just like, in the future, maybe I want to start something new, you know, my own business or something like that. So, what about you?
My favorite thing about UNC Charlotte was the fact that, you know, it's interconnected with the community. There's a lot of things you can do on and off campus, especially with the light rail. Connects to Uptown and South End. It's great for college students, especially if you're old enough to drink. You know, don't underage drink, please. A lot of you guilty do it. But that's okay. Just, make sure you're safe. But what's cool about UNC Charlotte is that there's a light rail that connects to campus. You can go uptown, get some nice food there. There's not really a lot of I guess entertainment related things for college students to do if you can't drink.
Oh yeah.
Uptown you can maybe go see a movie, but I don't think
it's all sightseeing.
Yeah, a lot of sightseeing, a lot of business. It's like a good opportunity to network. That light rail really connects you for network capabilities. But as far as on campus entertainment goes, I loved going to the movie theater on campus. Yeah. I was one of the few people that went to see a theater, like a movie by myself in the theater a lot of times. Not because I didn't have friends. I had friends. I just, most of the time, I don't like going out of my way to ask people if I want to go see a movie. I'm just going to go see it as if I was sitting at home and I just wanted to watch a movie. To me, it was just that. I was like, I'm just going to go treat myself to free movie that I paid for my tuition. Yeah. And it's, it was
right there too.
Yeah, it was fun. There's a lot of gyms on campus.
There's 3 now.
Yeah, back when I used to work out on campus. I don't work out, period, now. But what else was there to do on campus? Of course, clubs, organizations. Yeah. There's a garden, botanical garden. There's just so many things you can do. There's so many things you can do on campus, and that's what. And I worked on campus, so that's something I liked, having the opportunity to work on campus while being at school and being flexible with your schedule because they understand school comes first.
Exactly.
So that was something I really appreciate. Did you two work on campus?
I did
No,
not.
I worked off campus.
I worked on weekends. Sometimes I go back home to work, help out at family business and everything like that.
So how would you recommend to somebody who's listening to this and they're like, oh, should I work and go to school at the same time? Would that be, something ideal?
If you know how to time manage and you know how to be disciplined, then yes, I would suggest working. But I know that not everyone has situations like that. Some people have tuition to pay for, rent to pay for, and you have to work while going to school. I would think really just analyze what your situation is. If you think maybe possibly being a part-time student and working at the same time is the best method for you, my thing is that don't burn yourself out and remember that your education is, if you're undergrad, your education is your main priority.
Yeah.
Because for me, I always work part-time. I never did full-time plus school. I don't think I'll be able to manage that. Yeah, that'd be way too much. And also my jobs I never had a leadership position within my job. It was pretty basic. I was a waitress. I was a teacher at Kumon. Yeah, it was nothing I couldn't.
Shout out to Kumon.
Shout out to Kumon. Ooh, that was a time of my life. But yeah, I think at most I worked 15, 20 max an hour, a week. Yeah. So that was going with 18 credit hours. But then I think personally myself, I'm a pretty disciplined individual. Yeah. To the point that it goes to I say discipline, some people say stubborn, but I think that
say both.
Yeah, so I think, but then also Vickie's the same way as well. I know you are as well. So I think if you have those two, if you're self-disciplined and you time manage well, have a planner, you'll be fine.
I think even if you're a little bit well off, your parents are helping you out, you got some money saved up and you're in school, I still think it's a good idea to work even a little bit part-time on or off campus, just so you have your networking and that you have, like you said, you have experience and you're getting references with the people you're working with, right? So that when you do get out and you apply for jobs, they're not gonna be like, oh, so you only went to school. I know it sucks, but you kind of have to do a little bit extra on top of school, which is already exhausting. But it's so competitive now. You gotta be competitive back with everybody else. So that's
I agree, and also to budget. And I know some
budgeting.
Some federal aid gives you grants or loans. Make sure you use it wisely, because I know some people think it's free money, I don't have to pay this back, and then they overspend, and then it just gets a bit messy and they can't pay school, and they realize they can't pay for the essential things they need for school. So honestly, budget well. And I do believe you should do a part-time or maybe even an internship. I think that's good for experience and also, like, as you said, networking.
Yeah.
And it just, you learn a lot because you don't never know what that internship will take you or anything. Because if I didn't intern my junior year, I wouldn't have been with the company I am with now. So it just opens a lot of opportunities up. But of course you have to have discipline because some people they're so like, you know, with money, they're like, oh, I just need to work more, and then they forget about school. So of course, like, just kind of assess your situation and everything like that.
Yeah. So speaking of like stress and having determination, okay, this is since you two are in a sorority, and that's a lot of work and dedication. It takes a lot of lot of your time, especially with school and work already on your plate. Is that something you'd recommend to somebody coming into college, somebody already in college? How would you describe your experience?
I wouldn't say, like, I know there's a lot of stereotypes with frats and sorority and such on media and like movies and stuff. I say just I encourage people to look into it to see if it fits them. Yeah. Because, like, of course, like, one sorority might not fit you, or the one might not, or you just find out later on through the whole experience that it might not be for you. I mean, it's not an obligation, of course. You have that few weeks of, like, trying it out, you know? So I do, like, recommend if you can't handle it. I know also you have to pay for it, so that might be a financial burden on. Just, like, look at how much it is and does it fit you, and are you doing it for yourself? Of course. I think that's a big thing. Some people do it for the wrong purposes, and I think you just need to kind of see who you are, you know, with everything.
What about you, Uyen?
Yeah. So with Greek life as a whole, and if someone was to ask me, like, oh, should I join Greek life? Yes or no? I would honestly just say, personally for me, I don't regret joining. I think for me, through Greek life and through my sorority, I met people that have been such a big support for me, and I have met sisters who will be my sisters for the rest of my life. And outside of that, through my sorority, I networked with a lot of people, and I met many people that are close friends of mine today. But that being said as well, I would say, like, research what your Greek life is within your school. Because Greek life isn't just what it seems, I suppose you can say, because there's different councils within Greek life. For example, there's independent councils. There's, like, specific interests in Greek life. For example, our sorority that me and Vickie are in, we're an Asian interest sorority. So what that means that historically we were founded upon, like, Asian Americans, and we advocate towards awareness, and we advocate towards Asian culture and Pan-Asian, awareness and education, all that stuff. And there's, multicultural fraternities and sororities. There's Latina, sororities and fraternities as well. And so if that's something that you're interested in, just getting in touch with more of your culture. Or also there's, like, technical fraternities. There's, like, a engineering fraternity.
There's
business fraternity.
Yeah.
So don't
music fraternity too.
So don't, again, like with what Vickie said about stereotypes, like, don't just think Greek life is just one singular thing. It's much more than it actually is. And essentially what Greek life is just another way where you can find a home away from home, where you can meet people and just, again, find yourself as an individual. I don't regret it. Did Greek life give me stress? I think it did. Why? Was because we took up a lot of positions within our org. So we're go-getters, I guess you could say. So we took up a lot of exec positions, coupled with school, coupled with, personal life experiences too. But at the end of the day, it was fun.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of memories that me and Vickie still laugh at till this day. And I don't regret it.
No.
I think,
just don't let it, like, define you. Like, have it, like, be part of you, but don't let it define your whole experience. Like, oh, I'm these letters, you're an individual yourself too. So don't just because you're in Greek, you lose yourself. Yeah. Because I feel like some people kind of lose themselves a bit. Like, they change throughout the process, and they're like, they don't even know who they are. So.
And they lose some of their old friends.
Exactly.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know that when
What?
our first year when we crossed.
No, I
didn't talk to you for a long time.
I was too busy to
But I'm
be
back.
like chasing people down. I
Real.
can't be like that. I can't be
Exactly.
chasing people down. But no. So now after college,
Ooh.
all right, real quick because we're about to hit the 50-minute mark. So kind of like explain what's been life like after college in a couple sentences.
After college, it's been different. Just adjusting to being an adult, have a big girl job, quote unquote. It's just different, but also very fulfilling on what I'm doing as my career, because I work for Ross and I'm in transportation department, so I work a lot of like deliveries and everything, and just seeing my impact on everything. Even though I'm just like one person in this big company, it's just really nice to see like my company growing and everything. I'm just like really prideful and like, oh, this is Ross and everything like that. But I do miss the social aspect of school, but also I like my alone time now. Like I like kind of like understand like, oh, I need my downtime and just be more better at it, and like of course like self-care, like Uyen said in the previous podcast and everything like that. But of course, like I'm learning every day just to like adjusting and just getting out there and stuff, because it's just like just this small portion that we still have a big ways to go. So you never know what life takes us. I might be in like getting a new job like few years later, or like I don't know, move somewhere else and stuff like that. So it's been pretty good though. I honestly think it's been really good, and then I'm still keeping up in touch with my friends, so it's not like too bad. But it's difficult to schedule sometimes with friends and everything.
Work, majority of your time. Yeah. What about you, Uyen? What's life like after college and back to college?
Okay, so what is life like after undergrad? Let's say that for me. I think what's life like after undergrad, I think for me it's a lot of self-reflection and just I guess it's more, I think me being in my cohort and my grad program, like these people, they have a plan. I think, and they know exactly after I get this, like what I'm gonna do, yada yada yada, and they kind of know themselves well. And I think for me, I think I did find myself during my undergrad. Like I really did develop myself and my sense of humor, leadership, style, all that stuff. And in my my grad program now is now me just kind of implementing everything that I learned within my undergrad, straightening it, and then me finally realizing what I want to do, essentially. Like obviously my major was in social work, so when you're in social work, it's kind of like nursing. When you major in nursing, you're expected to be a nurse. So when you major in social work, you're expected to be a social worker. And I knew that, but then I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, yeah, I want to be a social worker, but like, what am I supposed to do?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Like, where am I supposed to work at? Do I want to work for federal? Do I work for nonprofit? Yada, yada, yada. But I think during undergrad, it's like, my grad program now I know it's like, I have more of a direct path. I have a specific population that I would like to work with, and I know my strengths and weaknesses more. So that's life after undergrad. You just have a better understanding of yourself and your capabilities, I guess you can say.
College part 2.
For real. I might be college part 2 too, Uyen, in a few years. So
In a few years.
I'm not going back to school. Screw that noise. If I do go back to school, it'll be for a completely different thing.
Have you ever thought about it?
I have, but I wouldn't go back for a higher education or master's or whatever. I'd go back for a completely different learning experience. I'd pursue something like art or music. Just cool. A completely different experience, just because I don't want to write papers. I don't want to, I still have to read for maybe art and music for certain things, but I may have to write papers still, but it's more of there's going to be a more hands-on experience compared to, studying business. You're not really getting like, you're getting little projects, but it's not the same. Yeah, so that's my experience. That's what I would do. So, oh my gosh. I got a little lost there for a second, but I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Okay, but I'd like to ask you both, what advice would you give to upcoming freshmen or somebody, coming to UNC Charlotte? What advice would you give them?
I say work hard and then play hard, but also like make sure you take that time. Academics is important. I don't know, like for me is really important. But have fun, but also like work towards your goals and future, because college is only 4 years. It's just that part of your life. Don't let it define you too, but try to figure out who you are during that process. Have fun, meet new people. That's the time where you can make some mistake, but not, of course, not too big, and then just enjoy it, because 4 years goes by really quick. Like for sure, like it just blink of an eye. I'm an adult now ish.
What about you, Uyen? What advice would you give young Uyen?
Young Uyen? Oh my goodness.
You're still young.
No, this is for like my, I guess, 18, just went to college, yada, yada, yada. Because I said this a lot during my undergrad, is that, okay, so mistakes aren't failures, mistakes are lessons. I feel like a lot of people, especially, I guess, individuals that I met with in undergrad, they have really high expectations for themselves, and they tend to kind of burn themselves out a lot. And I think to be realistically within life, like you will make mistakes, you will fail. However, it's not the end of the world. Like college is a time where you can make mistakes, as Vickie mentioned, like where you can fail and you can learn from them and grow from them. So don't be afraid to kind of get out of your comfort zone, open the opportunities of a little bit of failure so you can grow and learn from it and develop yourself as an individual. And so, again, I guess my other advice is remember to take chances, because I think college, too, especially you live on dorm or you live near campus, like, it's a very unique and special community and environment. Like, nowhere will you ever be surrounded by people so close to your age group. Nowhere will you ever be again in, like, a building with, 18-year-olds and you're all on the same page in the sense that you're trying to still find yourself and all that stuff. So take advantage of that, because you will never be in that type of environment ever again. I think it's very rare when you go in the real world where you have so much, you can't really social distance when you're in college, because you're surrounded by people all the time. It's true. So, but take advantage of that. Meet new people, get out of your comfort zone. And don't be afraid to fail, because it's okay. You will bounce back and you will grow and you will learn.
That's the same advice I would give, is that if I was talking to a younger me, I'd tell him to, don't be afraid to go to new clubs and organizations to meet new people, because you never know what that's going to lead you to as far as experiences go. Because if I didn't start hanging out with all the Asians on campus, I probably wouldn't have started drinking so much boba. That sounds really racist, but it's true. I probably wouldn't have gone out of my way. None of my other friends freshman year talked about, let's go get boba. Like, nobody said that. They'd be doing other things, but if I didn't start hanging out with, say, you guys, I wouldn't know where all the cool Asian spots are, or I wouldn't see certain movies, or I wouldn't meet other kinds of people. So just expand your horizons. That would be my biggest advice. And now something a little fun that I'd like to ask.
Oh, there's more questions.
We're gonna take a deep dive into kind of like our fondest memories. So like, I'm gonna ask for 2 highlights from each of you. So one highlight would be just what's something that you're forever gonna cherish from your college years. And then the other highlight is something that the 3 of us kind of did together with our friends. Like, what's something that you, like, oh my God, that was so much fun. Like, I kind of missed that. So, who wants to start first?
I can start first.
Okay.
One thing
I'm writing my name in Minnesota.
You guys, it's just like, after classes, we would just hang out, like the little moments, just hanging out, studying, and that was like
at the library.
Yeah, exactly. I cherished really much, and like visiting you at the office, just having a little time. We're like, hey, how do we get into your office and all that?
Oh my gosh! Can I print something in your office?
And then seeing Uyen sleeping on the floor,
people eating my ramen under my desk.
So it's just like
with your ramen under your
the little
desk?
things like those. I really miss, because like, we don't have much opportunity. Like, we do, but like, we can't do spontaneous stuff. Like, Yeah,
at work, you get fired for that.
I know. If you I'm like, hey, you guys want to go?
Floor.
Exactly. So those are like the memories I cherish with you guys. But overall, college, it's just the relationships that I built. I think that's literally made my whole college experience great, because without everybody supporting me and like just going through things like in times of like you know, when things are down, you have all like your friends are supporting you and everything like that. It's just always nice to have people care for you and everything like that. So those for sure, my relationships are like the everlasting, because I still hit up at like my friends, college friends, and it's nice seeing everybody and nice seeing how they're doing, you know, afterwards.
Catch up.
Exactly. So that's always good.
What about you, when you got an answer?
So my fondest moment in college, correct?
So,
Two
one
things. Okay.
overall, you know, highlight from college, and
Okay.
then one highlight from, you know, like your
With
personal
all y'all,
friends with us and like our friend group.
Longboarding was great.
Oh, yeah, that
my
was
god,
fun.
I missed those. It was spontaneous too.
Teely taught me how to longboard.
Me running into stuff and getting hurt.
I can't. Okay, so my fondest moments in college, I think. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to make a sign list. I'm trying to think. Well, I think for like all
Just
three
none?
of us. No, I hated every second of it. No, but with you three, of course. I think. I'm trying to think of like specific moment. Okay, the moment I keep popping to my head, I'm just gonna say it.
Then
Is
it's
I remember.
fun.
I remember we were
I'm scared.
It was the year where you were performing for Hello Asia. If you don't know, Hello Asia, hello. It may be canceled this year, but I'm still going to promote it. Hello Asia is this cultural showcase that ASA promotes every single year. We're
gonna tag them on
Yeah,
this. So
we,
they know.
we encourage Asian dancers, singers, performers to come, and it's a whole cultural showcase.
You better rep this episode at the next ASA meeting.
I don't know. I'm my masters. I don't even go to ASA anymore.
But you should now. You gotta at least show
You're
up
right.
for 1 million.
But,
so we get so many listeners.
But basically, that's Hello Asia, and Freddie was performing. He was playing his viola.
Yeah.
Hey.
He was playing his viola, and
Gosh.
we were rehearsing. And Vickie was there because she was like VP, or no,
Yeah.
she was at least an intern at that time. And so, but I remember we were like, "Crap, we're really hungry. Let's go to cookout." And we got in our little car, and it was like what? It was a lot of people in like a small car, and we went to cookout. And I don't know why I remember that moment. It was really fun. It was really cool. It was spontaneous, like you said.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like, remember, especially all three of us were there. And I just met Freddie too-ish. Like, I really just started talking to you. That's what I remember. And you were like cracking jokes.
I'm
You
always
mean to
cracking
dad,
jokes.
yeah.
Yeah, the dad
I'm
jokes.
always cracking jokes. That's my thing.
And I think my fondest moments in like college,
Mm-hmm.
I think going back to like my sorority, Kappa Phi Lambda, please follow us on Instagram. I'm just kidding. But not really. No, but I think so within our organization, when you try or when you become a sister, essentially, you go through a process. And I think that time is, I think, one of the fondest moments. And we did a lot of silly stuff.
We cried.
We cried. We
ate.
laughed.
We went to places.
Yeah. We cried. We laughed. We
Partied.
bonded. We partied. I guess you said we bonded. And I think those are like my fondest moments. Because again, going back on like my line sisters are like my sisters, and like they give me like unconditional support and love and roastings. But yeah, I think looking back, like till this day, we still laugh about it. We laugh about silly stuff that we did during process or like during our active years. So I feel like those are some of my fondest moments.
And then we still hang out, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
live with them.
awesome.
Yeah, we don't hang out. We live with each other.
Yeah, but personally for me, my fondest memories overall was, to be honest, as much as I hated walking around campus when I'm tired, it was really comforting when it's, you know, a nice day out, walking around campus, running into your friends on the way to class, or even when you're just walking around, you know, it's really nice just to go to a college that nice. So that was a really fond memory that I had. It's just being on the campus.
Exactly.
That was, it was a good...
Seeing sunlight, because sometimes in the office you come out, you're like,
Yeah,
where's the sun?
the office was in the basement of the student, what's it called? The student union. Yes, I forgot. I haven't been on campus for so long. But as far as like our friendship memories go, one of the things that I am grateful for, why you guys are in my life, I'm grateful for, was when I went through my like really big breakup. And you guys,
Oh my god, Freddie.
you was like flashback.
No, he totally
I was
This
like,
man,
you know, that was junior year was like a really crazy year for me, and it started off with like this crazy breakup. Started working at the office on campus. It was like I had so many classes. You know, it was a turning point because junior year is a big deal,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Remember when we went to Boardwalk at like 12 o'clock because you were just like, I want to walk. And I was like, baby, if you want to walk, we can walk.
It was cold.
It was so cold.
In September in North Carolina.
And I was walking with you in complete silence.
After 2 minutes, we were like, yeah, never mind, this ain't it. But no, I was just really grateful because, you know, you guys were there when I was at some of my lowest in college, and I remember we were like, hey, let's get together, let's have a video game party.
Yeah, those were so
And,
fun.
you know,
Oh
Amber
my
and
God.
Chakris came over, and
We would
Amber's
make
always
food.
giggling, made spicy ramen, and just brought chips. We did a potluck. We always did a potluck.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
always
when I had
made
the little
ramen.
apartment
And that
on
video
campus.
game you're so
Yeah.
good at.
Yeah. And you know, when I had the little apartment on campus and you made me food, we had a little potluck there, and
Yeah.
my roommates were like, why are you always bringing Asian girls over? So, you know, but those were like my fondest memories. Just like, you know, you would probably like, whoa, he brought back memories.
exactly.
Memories.
I forgot
But,
about
yeah,
that.
that was our little gang. That was
That was
fun.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Good
that's
times, good
Good
times.
times.
But I
Why are
mean,
you bringing Asian girls over?
No, I used to say that. I'd be like, "Where's your Legion of Asian Honeys, Freddie?" That's what he called y'all. But, yeah, but no, but yeah, so that was a good way to kind of end this, wrap this off. But is there anything else you just want to say about college experience, life?
I'm grateful for you, Vickie.
wow,
Aw.
stop
It's
it.
on the record now.
I know. I'm gonna hold
Whenever
this
you get
against
mad at
you.
me, just
I'ma
listen
crop
to this
part
moment.
out.
I'm grateful for everyone, like
Yeah.
all my friends and everything. There's like big support sometimes. Like honestly, I don't cry a lot. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's
like I
good.
cry to all my friends. You know, so
But-
it's nice to have the support and everything, and all the like simple things in life. You know, you just gotta grab onto it. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys for listening to our What's UNC Charlotte Like episode, what's life like in college and all that
Midlife
stuff.
crisis. And
Yeah.
everything.
So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for Vickie and Uyen for being here. I'm not gonna ask you guys to plug in your socials because I'm just gonna put it into whatever. I'm gonna tag you on Instagram, Facebook, and all that, and in the podcast, it's gonna be everywhere. So I'm just gonna tag you all even in the description. So I'm not even gonna ask for permission. I'm just gonna tag you anyway. But thank you guys for listening, and I hope if you're not in college, you're excited for college, and if you already been out of college, like I hope those memories, like you cherish that forever, because life sucks. I'm just kidding.
Life's short. Enjoy the little moments. You know?
Exactly. And wash your hands, please.
Wash your hands, cough on your elbow.
If you're in quarantine, like stay put. Please stay put.
Your elbow,
Yeah.
it's the elbow.
Dab on them haters if you're gonna sneeze. That's an
Exactly.
easy way to remember
Don't try to
it.
punch Asians. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know,
or just anyone, you know, just be nice to
Exactly,
people.
so.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll be on we'll record something else cool next time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.